the first thing I should tell you is that I'm a bit of an aviation buff, and that was the first thing that attracted me to your name. Who decided that the band would be named after the first supersonic aircraft?
Well, there's a strong history of Irish bands being named after.
Oh, I guess there is, isn't there?
So, you know. No, we were desperate for a name. We had these songs and we had a record ready, but we didn't have a name, so we kind of trawled encyclopedias and books and stuff. And a couple of us had just read The Right Stuff by Tom Wolfe, when he talks about the space race, really.
That was Chuck Yeager's plane.
Yeah, the Bell X-1 was Chuck Yeager's plane, the little orange thing.
Glamorous Glynis, I think.
Yeah. That wouldn't have been such a good name.
No.
No. Maybe for like a glam rock band, perhaps.
Yeah. There should be a Bell X-1 tribute band called Glamorous Glynis.
That's actually a good idea. You're a new band to much of the world, but you've done extremely well in Ireland. I mean, you're the second biggest band in Ireland behind those other guys that named their band after an airplane. Talk about what it's like for you guys in Ireland.
We've made 5 records, and I mean the first 2 were, you know, we kind of, I suppose, built a fan base in Ireland by just playing every little town, playing wherever we could, and I think that's what's really sort of, you know, that's what's stood to us, and when things started happening at radio and the thing sort of kind of blew up around the 3rd record, it was on that sort of very kind of real foundation that things built. So
you're a 3-piece normally, but then you have some people that play with you live. And in an earlier incarnation, did Damien Rice be with the band? Okay, we don't have to go there. I just wanted to make sure I have my facts right. That was a band called Juniper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He left and then nobody ever heard of him again.
Yeah. Wow. That happens.
Yeah.
Losers.
Good guy, whoever he is.
And I guess you have made some inroads in the United States. I know you've been on Letterman. I think Jimmy Fallon. Have you been on Jimmy Fallon? Or Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy
Conan O'Brien.
Conan, yeah.
And some dude on the West Coast, Scottish dude.
Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson.
Yes.
Craig Ferguson, yeah.
So and you've had your songs in some TV shows like The OC. So you've managed to establish yourself a little bit with that fan base. And I guess it's just a matter of plugging along until things, you know, finally break through, right?
Taking it on one pair of ears at a time. Yeah.
Right. I have to ask about the Facebook deal. So you played on the roof of the Irish headquarters of Facebook?
The European headquarters.
The European headquarters of Facebook.
Which
no
is
less.
Okay, now, how did that happen?
How did that happen?
I think they came to us and said, we'd like to start doing this. Will you do the first one? And we said, okay.
Where is the European headquarters?
It's in Dublin.
Oh, okay, so they
Yeah.
wanted somebody that was well known in Ireland to
Yeah.
do this. And I'm guessing that you met Mark Zuckerberg.
He happened to be in town. Yeah, he'd never
First
been
time.
before.
Yeah.
He'd never been to Ireland.
So first time checking in on that
Yeah.
particular wing of his massive empire.
And did you meet him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He couldn't miss it, you know.
Did he like you on Facebook?
I don't know, he just goes around like this all the time. Yeah. He's like Caesar.
You've heard what he's doing now. He's on this thing where he's only going to eat what he kills.
I've heard this.
Yes. So it's.
I'm glad he wasn't hungry when we met.
So the new album. I guess you've been touring this for a little while. Has anybody? I don't know who actually controls the patent, but has anybody who come after you for using the word Velcro?
No.
Because that is a trademark
Is it?
name. Yes.
Okay.
It's like Kleenex or aspirin. They're
Really? So we're actually it's like an endorsement of sorts.
But
Well,
whatever
it
we should do, we shouldn't draw attention to that fact.
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, Paul Simon got nailed in the early 70s when he wrote a song called Kodachrome.
It would be nice to know, like, you know, if we do make a lot of money from this song, what we're going to spend it on.
Yeah.
Like getting our asses out of jail.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the movie Bruno.
Yes.
He has a Velcro suit.
That's right.
You remember?
Yeah, he does.
So we're trying to get our hands on one of those.
That'd be all right. Ireland's had a bit of a rough go recently financially. Did any of that seep into Bloodless Coup?
Yes, yeah. I suppose part of the title is a sort of a nod to a romantic notion of bloodless coup, of people taking control of the madness. There's a song called Sugar High on the record, which is very much kind of informed by the chronic failure of leadership, really, is what I think went on. And
Ireland was so hot at Celtic Tiger for so long, and everybody was looking at Ireland as actually a model of the way things should be.
Yeah, but it was built on sand, really. It was built on something that wasn't real, and it finally kind of revealed itself. And I think it's prompted an awful lot of soul searching amongst us, the Irish, as to what the hell we are. I mean, I think the Celtic Tiger years were kind of viewed as a little sort of vulgar and very much at odds with what we like to consider our national character, being in tune with what's more important in life and family values and art and music and the soul. And here were people buying second homes in Eastern Europe, and it just became kind of, it never sat well with us.
I blame Ryanair for that. Because if you can fly to Lithuania for $59, you're going to buy a second home there for the weekend. Why not? Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was. I think there is some kind of hope on the horizon. I think people are sick of the bad news and the constant bombardment of negativity, and I just want to get on with their lives. But I mean, there's been a lot of damage done. So.
A couple of months ago, Bob Geldof was here, and we talked about how Ireland is facing the largest exodus of young people since the potato famine, really. But he was he was reasonably optimistic too. He thinks that the Irish always rebound, so it's just live through it, go down the pub, have another pint of Guinness, and things will eventually work itself out.
Well, you see, that's the kind of, we've long traded on this idea of like, the last man in the pub, or there were great crack and the life and soul of the party. I think that's kind of bullshit and needs to sort of change. I think when money arrived, we really didn't know how to handle it, and it's something that's kind of, I would hope, will stay with us as to what not to do.
I just got an email today from the Irish Tourist Authority saying that the tourism VAT has been dropped by 5%.
Okay.
So, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, they're really pushing that one. And we had, a couple of massive state visits. The Queen visited Ireland, Obama visited Ireland, and everything was thrown at making the country look good. So, hopefully it worked.
So, what's the rest of your North American trip all about?
We're playing, I don't know when this goes out, but we're playing tomorrow night in the Mod Club. And then after the gig, actually, we're going to cross the border back into North America. And we're going to hit some new places we haven't been to before. We're going to Denver, Colorado for the first time.
Oh, you like that? We're
going back to Mountain Stage, West Virginia, beautiful part of the world, and it's a great setup to have there, where they basically broadcast a live gig from this beautiful theatre.
Oh, great!
So just it's great to tour North America and Canada for that reason. There are really, really interesting things that happen, in Europe, and it's pretty much just a stinky rock and roll venue, which is good. But you come over here, and there's people are a lot more open-minded to. Number one, they're much more open-minded to eclectic music, and number two, there are a lot of really interesting hubs like this and platforms.
That's funny, because we find it almost the opposite when we talk about going to Europe, is that people are more open-minded to music, and that the venues there are much more interesting than the sterile ones we have here.
Really?
Yeah. So
grass is greener, isn't it?
I guess so. It's strange. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you for coming and playing for us. Let's hope that there's no lawsuits over the word Velcro, TM. And the next time you're around, maybe we can get you to play a few more.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
ExploreMusic wears English Laundry apparel.